Overwatch was a massive shift for Blizzard. It was a first-person shooter, a brand new genre for the team at the time, and it was made on the heels of an engine that was supposed to be for an entirely different game. All of those challenges, they managed to still nail one of my favorite games of the 2010s, which is testament to the fact that Blizzard are just such incredible game developers. It was a powerful addition to the gaming industry as a whole and a strong games-as-a-service contender. But the demand for Battle Royale and other game modes came after Overwatch's launch. So, how is Blizzard going to tackle those demands that we as gamers have for modern games, and how are they going to incorporate stuff like Battle Royale into Overwatch 2? And what is it going to look like? Before we get into it, we're giving away a copy of Overwatch every single week, so stick around to the end of this video to find out if you won last week's one. And if you want to enter, check out the description, and please hit that obligatory algorithmic like. I rely on us gaming the algorithm here on YouTube to make content that we actually want to watch. It's insane, I know, so if you guys could help a brother out and, you know, let's trick the algorithm together. Let's do it as a team. Anyway, Overwatch as a video game is getting pretty old. One of the most important issues that it faces in 2020 is that it's simply a product of its time, a time before Fortnite. Fortnite is more than simply a battle royale phenomenon. It's an engineering marvel that has arguably influenced the gaming market more than any game in the last decade, and all because of how the game is built. An agile game engine that allows developers to make new updates and drops on a weekly basis, which makes for a ton of earned media, which has definitely contributed to Fortnite's success. Earned media, for those of you guys who don't know, is a marketing term for media that is created organically and isn't directly funded by a company or an ad agency. I studied advertising, and this is the thing that every ad agency wants to do. They want to get paid, and they don't want to pay to get the word out there, so they make the most profit. Earned media is also to blame for the success of Minecraft, as well as a bunch of indie games like Goat Simulator. Game Theory did a video on this, and I will include a link in the card somewhere. Fortnite is also built on an engine that can run at 120 FPS on a phone and scale all the way up to a high-end gaming PC. This has made more of a technological marvel because it does all of this while cramming a massive map with 100 players in one session. This helped Epic Games push console manufacturers to do cross-platform, something that wasn't done until recently, if you guys have short-term memory. Even Call of Duty has benefited from this business arm wrestle, and now Call of Duty is cross-platform, a trend that I predict rightfully, like it's gonna carry on, right, with future Call of Duty releases. I think they would be stupid not to. All of these tectonic industry-changing shifts that Fortnite introduced has changed the face of what we as gamers expect from modern games, especially games-as-a-service titles like Overwatch. At BlizzCon 2019, I was lucky to be in a press conference with some of the Overwatch team, and one of the journalists in the room asked a question that a lot of us have been asking, including yourself, I'm sure. Why have they included sequel numeration? Why Overwatch 2 and not just update Overwatch currently as it is? I think the full answer to that should be left for another video, and if you guys want to see that, please let me know in the comments below. But one of the points raised by the team was that when Overwatch was created, it only allowed for a maximum of 12 players in a match at a time. This foundational limitation seemed to really set the developers back and gave the team a lot of challenges going forward into the development of Overwatch. Do you want to add Bob as a 13th character in a match? Make the first Bob skin fully symmetrical and very light on resources. Want to make a wave-based Halloween mode, right? With a lot of characters on one screen? Rework the core engine to squeeze out a limited number of low-detailed robots and cut the amount of players that are in the match at the same time. There's been a few of these changes to Overwatch's engine as a whole over the years, but they've ultimately been tweaks to accommodate visions of what the developers wanted to build, and it kind of reached its own limitations, right? And Overwatch as a game is so much better as a result of these changes, but there's a limitation of what can be done using the current Overwatch engine, and those limitations would critically affect Overwatch's development going forward. The new Overwatch 2 build is imperative to Overwatch going into the next decade. The maps are going to be larger and could improve over time on a new engine's foundation. I got to play some of the PvE at BlizzCon, and it's amazing to see hordes of Omnics flood towards you like the machines in the Matrix Revolution. It ran smoothly, and this, from a technological perspective, is an achievement coming from the limitations of the initial Overwatch build. They've come so far. This will give the Overwatch team at Blizzard a chance to create game modes that were previously unattainable for the developers. It'll also make the engine more agile for more regular updates, the potential for cross-play experiences, and more players in a map than ever before. And let's not forget that earned media from those updates. Content creators like myself can be making more content that you might want to watch and potentially be more interested in. Think of Apex Legends using the Titanfall 2 engine, an engine that was designed for team deathmatch combat and tweaking it to accommodate a Battle Royale. Those challenges, according to Respawn, the developers of Apex Legends, were mitigated by making the areas feel more like closed arenas that tighten combat zones. Think about it. Apex's level design often blocks out the horizons with mountains or extremely tall buildings. This in stark contrast to Fortnite's level design, which is just like you can see all the way through to the other side of the match. So there's a good chance that if Jeff Kaplan and the team were thinking of making a Battle Royale for Overwatch 2, it's definitely a possibility. But what would an Overwatch 2 Battle Royale look like? I think they have the chance to have a fresh take on the genre that I'd love to play. I'm kind of bored of Battle Royale, so this is going to be kind of some of my ways to freshen it up. And Blizzard, if you're listening, I hope you guys are taking notes because I want to see this. First off, I think it's imperative that it's team-based. The core experience of Overwatch is a team-based, skill-complementary game that requires tight cooperation. Apex Legends has done a little bit of this already, but tight teams of 3 or 4 with an Overwatch ability pool would be incredible. Playing Tracer the Scout, having a slower tank to escort as the backbone of every team engagement, and healers orbiting the fights would be great. We know how fun the team fights are in Overwatch in the main game, but imagine having one of these team fights in open world environments with higher stakes. This will change the way that teams engage in the current PvP game mode, so it's going to be cool to see in that context. Secondly, instead of weapon drops, I'd like to see skill drops or skill points that upgrade your character. Imagine a DPS, support, and tank skill point drops that can help you build your tech tree to counter the enemy builds. Remember, there are tech trees for each character in the PvE mode that they're introducing in Overwatch 2, and these same variable progression paths could be very exciting in a team fight context against another team fight. Right? You're gonna have to like sit and counter it. In order to maximize this team fight approach, Overwatch Battle Royale would have to provide chances for more than one encounter in a match. Maybe the one team has a limited amount of respawns that have to be activated at spawn locations similar to Apex Legends. Or maybe there's a live system where you loot for extra lives as well as your skill points for your classes and distribute them amongst your team. Another idea would be a spawn purgatory where you have to defeat a wave of Omnics before you respawn, and the faster you defeat them, the faster you'll get back into the fight. Right? I think these could work. There are a ton of ways a Battle Royale could be implemented in a fresh, creative, and novel way into Overwatch 2. And knowing the Blizzard team, they've overcome so many challenges in the past with Overwatch, I'm sure they can tackle this. This is all provided that they can accommodate the engine to scale to that size. And with their current creative decisions, I think this is more than just a viable game mode. I think it'll be an extremely compelling one. What do you guys think of an Overwatch Battle Royale? Is this something that you'd play? Do you think Blizzard should double down on this type of experience in Overwatch 2? Is this something that they should be dedicating resources to? If you guys have any advice as to what you think should be there, drop it in the comments. Hopefully Blizzard will watch this video, please. In my next video, we'll be discussing what Overwatch might look like as a Netflix show, similar to how The Witcher interpreted the book. So make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. I'll see you guys there on that video or on Twitch. By the way, I'm going to put the winner for the prize is over here below me. Congratulations for winning the prize. If you guys want to enter that, make sure you check out the description. And I'll see you in the next video. Happy Overwatching.